Greetings and welcome back to The Booth, the first and only podcast dedicated solely to WVU women's basketball. I'm Chad Adkins, and I have the pleasure of being joined this episode by Ryan Idler and Shane Terrell. We're recording in the basement bar booth of Mario's Fishbowl Suncrest on University Avenue in Morgantown, West Virginia, home of the world-famous Fishbowl.
Cheers. Good to be back.
We're going to send out a search party for you there, Ryan. We were concerned about
Ryan's back.
He was finding a cure in the deepest, darkest Africas for Corona. That's what he was doing, I think.
We'll go with that.
All right. And I thank you for your service on that, sir, for fighting that dreadful disease.
Well, while we're cheersing, though, we just had a birthday. Well, we didn't have a birthday, but Coach Kellogg had a birthday. Let's just do one more toast to Coach Kellogg.
Happy birthday. 32 years.
Happy birthday, Coach.
32, I believe something like that.
Happy birthday. All right.
You know, I got one review for my sister, and speaking of taking a drink there, my sister says I say all the time on.
Yeah, we talked about that. So if you're at home watching this and you want to have a little drinking game, just drink every time Chad says and
you're going to be total. Don't do it. I'm really going to be conscious of it. I'm going to try to be a teetotaler for you, because if you're playing drinking games at our age, you have a problem. But all right. Let's just start off and look back at, starting the episode by looking back at what we just did the last three games. Granted, the Bonnies and Delaware State handled them, well, maybe more than expected. 107 points. Wow.
Yeah, I had one takeaway from that, maybe that we didn't let off the gas, and I think that's something Coach Kellogg's talked about, is that, we have to play the same way all the time, no matter who it is, whatever, maintain that level, don't let up. You're there to win and learn and get better, and I think they definitely proved that they're capable of doing that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And everyone was in the game. They were all scoring points. They were all contributing to the team. So, it
helps. It definitely helps. And that last game, the Delaware State game, it was odd. Everybody around us was commenting. They just kept passing the ball. They were open several times for threes, and they would still keep trying to look like to feed it, get it down into the paint, people cutting through the paint. He's wanting to push that more, it seems like, than just rely more on the mid-range outside jumper.
Right.
Because we're getting a lot of points in the paint, but that's a lot of one-legged layups as well.
Right.
That counts as points in the paint as well. I'm guessing. I think it does.
And again, with that too, we're also getting a lot of fast break points, which you can't rely on that every time. So you need to make sure we have these plays that we can run and get the ball passed around for these tougher games that are coming up.
Yeah. But that's going to be our bread and butter. We're going to live by that sword or die by that sword, I think, this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's becoming apparent what the team's identity is.
Yeah, we're going to. It was. You said, you go home and you watch that Delaware State game, and it was. Man, it was. We
went like a 23-0 run, and I don't know, they really even got it past half court very much in that run. It was.
It was. I almost started feeling bad for them, actually. It's like, come on, coach, gosh darn, man. I know you're trying to teach the girl stuff, but man, oh gosh, I was feeling bad for them. But the big game of the last period in between our episodes was obviously the Penn State game.
Correct. Yeah.
What a game! It was an amazing effort. And we talked last episode about, during Puerto Rico, how Coach Kellogg kept some of the stuff in his back pocket, and he'd pull out a little bit when he needed to get that, that oomph on the team.
Right.
I think I don't know, but would you say he pulled everything out for that Penn State game?
I don't think so. I think we were just kind of in control of the game the whole time. That I don't know that he needed to, but maybe there was some seen some stuff that we hadn't seen before, but. I think in general, I think we controlled that game. There was never really a back and forth. A lot of good games are back and forth, but I don't know what the lead changes.
I think there's 4 score changes throughout that game, but
I think it was all during the first quarter.
Exactly,
It was a tight first quarter, and then after that, it was
after
over.
that, we just never really let them back in it.
And quite honestly, the only reason they were in it, I don't know, it was our own mistakes. It wasn't like they were, kicking our butts or something. It was us screwing up. It seemed like it. Not bad, obviously. I'm not. I guess it's funny to hear Coach Kellogg do those things. How can you get? How can these girls get better? And that because we're good, man. We're good.
Yeah, certainly a good team. And I'm pretty honest about not really knowing that much about basketball. I don't really see the details as someone that knows a lot about basketball. But I can certainly see when it's an energetic team and a physical team, and I can understand that part.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest takeaways I can get from the Penn State game is I don't think it'll have to be a hell of a bad night for it to be a blowout. I don't think. I want to be the complete home. We're going to win every game and go undefeated, but it's not. I just can't see it happening. It's just not logical that we would go undefeated throughout the year. But I can guarantee we will be in every game.
Yeah, no, we've just got too many. We're too solid across the board. Even if they can shut a player down, we've got too many other players that can step up and contribute. I think that's what this team has.
That's what I really like about this team is, like you said, you can shut one player down, but then we have 3-4 other players right behind you that will step up and get the job done when they need to.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting how this team does that. And I don't even know. All right, now players of the game. Oh, what do we?
We've talked. Yeah, kind of went back and forth. I think JJ kind of. She shined in every game, so I don't know.
Maybe the period, yeah. That obviously that Delaware State game, she was like 2 rebounds and 3 steals away from having a quadruple double. So obviously that Delaware State game.
Yeah.
What were Harrison's stats for the Penn State?
So that's what I was going to say for the Penn State game. Jordan Harrison, 14 points, 6 steals. 9 assists, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, that's
that's someone that steps up and does their job when.
She's the one that was kind of standing out, and that's what was odd. It seemed like she was doing her job and doing what Jordan Harrison does in that Penn State game, but it didn't seem like it was like, whoa, look at Jordan just tearing it up. But the stat line is incredible. It's
kind of like my. Talking about the fall guy in one of the earlier episodes, it's sort of the Hollywood stunt man,
unsung hero,
making everybody else look good when you're dishing off. But I don't think it's getting noticed. She's a huge contributor every game.
And quite honestly, with her steals and stuff in the Penn State game, look at those stats, and I think that's what set us apart. We only had 8 less turnovers than Penn State. We had 7 more steals, but we had like 31 points off turnovers, and they had 10. And they fouled us on the shot. We were 19 of 23. They only went to the foul line 4 times. They only shot 8 free throws. And what he was talking about, I believe it was a Youngstown State game, or maybe it was a game after. I think maybe St. Bonaventure. They were starting to break our press a little bit with that long pass to the big in the middle, about 2/3 way down the court. Man, they figured that out. Tavi Diggs has been. I got a couple steals a game since that game.
He said he made some adjustments, but he didn't want to go into too much detail.
Yeah. And that was one thing that big that Penn State had. That was, no offense, man, you're a hell of a basketball player, but you don't have ball handling skills. She got that ball, 3/4 court, and she was like, and she dribbled once to stop, and it was amazing that he kind of knew that because there'd be nobody on her, they'd just float off. Okay, go ahead, you're screwed, and they cover, and we got a lot of turnovers that way. It's just amazing how many different ways in that defense that he can get turnovers like that. How he thinks to do that, it's awesome. I love it. But I think that's we've shot a little bit less field goal percentage. We only had 3 more rebounds. I mean, our assists were greater, but quite honestly, I think as I sit here and watched them, we probably get 10 assists a game that are breakaway, one bounce to somebody laying it up. You know,
Right.
we get quite a few like that. 3-pointers, we were basically both right around 50%, and like I said, we blew them away in the free throws because I think we were attacking the rim more and getting hacked.
Right.
You know.
Well, we could sit here all night and talk about that game, but what do we got coming up? I mean, how do we?
Yeah, well, one more thing I want to bring up is I'm very disappointed in the top 25 poll that came out. I'm not. We got to talk about that for a minute.
Yep, no, you're right.
Did we get 22 votes, 24 votes,
21, I think. Was it 21?
Something right around
we had
there.
one last week. I mean, we got 20 more, so headed in, trending in the right direction.
So what? They're just not even going to pay attention to us until we win a conference game, I guess, until Kansas.
Yeah,
Till Kansas. That's it. Yes.
So we got to wait.
Unfortunately.
Penn State. I think maybe holding it against us that they did have some more losses after us. Still top. Top 10 teams.
Yeah, they lost to Ohio State, which was I think 12th in the nation.
And they've kept it close with all the teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it was an
yeah.
overtime loss.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how the voting works.
I'm gonna
It's
be.
all
Who knows who?
yeah. Who knows who?
But I mean, it's in talking about what's coming up too. It's really tough to. I mean, I look at both the teams coming up here before the Big 12 conference starts, and I'm sorry, no disrespect to you guys, but it's just I think we're going to win. I just think it's a different class.
Yeah, no,
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a
for
different
sure.
caliber of team.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of what Coach Kellogg is talking about is even though it's a different caliber of team, you can't go into it, that we're going to beat this team. You go in still playing from start to finish. You still play the same way. I mean, they're just the way you have to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's an all-play game. You get people in, but no, you play hard. It doesn't matter who it is or when
you
play hard.
But we're going to win by 35, 40.
35-40, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not betting. Oh my gosh, what was JJ's totals? Oh my gosh, I forgot to add those up. We'll just go ahead and get JJ's totals out of the way. I know Shane won. I came in second. And Ryan came in third. I know that. So right now, Shane has 5 points total. I have 3, and you have 1, Ryan.
I got to step it up a little bit, I guess.
Yes, this is the. God, we all have consistently bet under. Well, I bet over during the Puerto Rico stretch, but she got that 2-point, technical foul game where they sat her. If that wouldn't have happened, she would have went easily even well above what I picked. I think we're sure. I think the only thing that's going to change her point scoring is getting to the Big 12. I might drop it down a little bit. I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
Right, so who do we got? The next 2 games coming up. We have
Wright State in Niagara. I think.
Yeah. Wright State's first. That's the education game. We actually, me and Shane,
That's a
did you get
Monday.
off that Monday? No.
I did not get off that Monday, no.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be there bright and early. Do they sell beer at 10 a.m. at the Coliseum?
We'll find out.
Oh, God.
Education Day. I hope I get educated.
I think we'll probably be
that's not what it
educating some some pure minds with our debauchery.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning, Chad.
Well, I won't be in bed from the night before.
No.
Oh, I will be. I'll be there. I got to
Talk
do
like we're not old. No, that's so I didn't go to the education day last year, so I guess it's they bring in students from across the state and
Yeah,
the stadium.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I'll just say I've talked to one of the trainers a couple years ago, and I brought up that to him. Not one of the female basketball trainers, just in a different setting. But they told me that that during that education day, I mean, it's packed in there, but it is all prepubescent voices, so everybody's like an alto or or soprano screaming. So you got to get used to like fingernails. I just hear fingernails down the blackboard for 2 hours.
Hey, while we're on attendance, though, one of the things that I have a goal is to get as many new seats, new butts in the seat for this year, and we finally got a couple new people. Came out to the Penn State game, and then one's came back since then. Hasn't missed, so we've met that goal.
Yeah, it's another Chad that's came back.
Yeah,
we're going to try to get everybody named Chad in our role. Try to make it as confusing as possible.
I've got a lot of Chads in my life. It gets confusing.
And we're all jerks. That's the weird thing. We all got issues, every one of us.
We already knew that one.
Yeah, but that is honestly something I've been keeping track of is attendance. We've been hitting around 1,500. I think Penn State game was 2,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
all right. I'll tell you what that makes me mad too is we had to bribe the maniacs to get there. And they had they had the sweatshirts and the $15 off. I think it was Miss Scott, the one of the. She was like, "Come on, you're basically getting paid to come here. Show up, my gosh!"
All we have to do is show up.
And I forget who made the comment. They had all their shirts and stuff, but they didn't get them till after halftime.
Yeah, but as soon as halftime is over, that place cleared out. That depresses me.
Yeah, nah. Come on out and support.
Yeah, and I saw it was like 1,400 and change for the Delaware State.
Yeah,
is what I saw.
But it's
Big 12. It does pick up some in attendance.
There's some buzz about this team.
And that's why I want us to get ranked, because as soon as we get ranked,
right,
people will be like, "What? What? They're what? Well, we're gonna. I'll bet dollars. Well, I'm going to say dollars to donuts, but donuts are more than $1 now. I'll bet donuts to dollars that if we would have got, I don't know. We're going to go undefeated. We're just going, and the sooner we get ranked, the sooner we get more attention, the sooner we get more fans in the Coliseum.
Yeah, but there's certainly some buzz about the team. Chad's always giving me a hard time, says I market too much or whatever. But I always like to run into somebody like, "Hey, what have you been into?" And I'm pretty quick to be like, "Hey, well, I got this podcast I'm involved in," and start telling them about that. And it's people are interested. I mean, they are. Yeah. I talk about I mention women's basketball. They're like, "Oh yeah, aren't they undefeated?" So even people that aren't really following, they're hearing about it. So.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear people say that know we do the podcast. They kind of grab it. Oh yeah, I see that. They should be ranked top 25. Alan actually said it the other day.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever watched WVU with basketball before we started doing this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Alan.
Yeah,
of course, always here to the fishbowl.
Here's to the fishbowl. That's you're all making this possible.
Yeah,
so thank you.
And thank you again to all I think we're up to 16 subscribers and the 50 viewers.
17, Chad. I seen 17. Checked it earlier.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're doing this. It's fun. We're having a good time with it. We
all right.
Hope we can get some more people involved.
Yeah, we need them. Well, and the women's basketball team too. But it's all right. Let's go ahead and do JJ's Jays. We'll go the first. We'll go the first round. We'll go ahead and get that. Well, and if you don't know, JJ's Jays is a game that we play where we guess the total amount of points each game. Well, for JJ during our episodes span. The next two games are
Wright State,
and Niagara. So we'll guess on these next two games. Person gets the closest point total gets 2 points. Second closest gets a point, and the person that's far away gets 0. And like I said, currently Shane's in the lead with 5. I'm in second with 3, and Ryan's in last with 1.
Thanks for reminding me.
We don't really have rules for this, but I feel like.
Oh, and the person with the most points at the end of the regular season gets a night out at the Fishbowl treated by the 2 losers.
So we don't have rules for this, but I feel like whoever's losing should pick first.
All right.
I'll take that.
All right,
I agree with that one.
We'll make that up as we go along.
All right,
That kind of makes sense.
All right, that makes sense. All right, I'll do that. All right, so you just go backwards in order of points. We'll do that.
So let's for the Wright State game. Let's start off with that. Obviously, trending the way that she has been. I'm gonna go with 25 for the Wright State game.
Ryan's an engineer, so he wants to trend stuff.
That's what I do. Yes, exactly.
I'll go 22.
24 for me. No,
25, 24, 22. It's going to be tight with this week.
All right.
Second game.
It's
Niagara.
Let's go 27.
Boom!
I want to see her go off.
All right, yeah. You went from super low to now you're like, screw it, I'm going high.
I see how she trends now, so let's see it happen.
So at 20, all right, so you're at 52 for 2 games. I went, what did I go? 22?
22, first game.
You went 24. I'll go 22 again. I'll say 44 for the total.
All right, I'm going 23.
23, so you're going
24 and 23.
47.
Okay.
I went 44, and you went 52. Wow, we just completely flip-flopped everything.
See, this is kind of funny because you are, the math people, and I'm just figuring it out.
It is what it is. I don't know. I don't really consider myself. I took some math courses, but I don't consider myself a math.
I don't either. I may be an engineer, but I am not a math person.
You didn't need to get a calculator out. I would need to get a calculator out, so maybe that's the difference.
All right, but since we're not really going to talk, I think we're going to win these games fairly easily. I think what we need to talk about now is just, how our expectations have shifted since day one of the Coach Kellogg tenure to now. What would be a likely finish now for them in the Big 12? What do you think would be?
Right now, let's see.
Certainly, we have high expectations, but
always going to keep the high expectations, correct? But so what do we have? We have Texas, Baylor, Kansas State doing very well in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah.
Other teams playing well, but for us, I think we're going to sneak in and stay top 3 in the Big 12. So I can see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see us going below from last. We finished 4th in the league last year, but that's one thing. And it almost seemed there were times where, when we beat Kansas at home last year, I was like, I can't believe we beat. I expect them. It's a different vibe this year.
We kind of had surprise victories last year.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it!
We'll have expected victories. Maybe is the way to look at it.
I think that. I guess I thought we could finish in the top 4 this year. Now I expect us to finish in the top 4, preferably top 3 this year. And Coach Kellogg talked about it. Expectations have risen because of that Penn State game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They have. And I liked how Harrison put it in her post game. We're going to do things that West Virginia women's basketball has never done before. And I believe it. There's just a vibe you get from something like this. You can tell when a winner moves in town, when it's a, and no offense against, I haven't seen this quick of a turn. I thought what the coach who shan't be named, who came in last year, what I saw there in the turnaround from the beginning of the year to last year, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, look, we're really on the uprise here. Phew. That's nothing compared to this. You can. There's been more growth in a third of a season under Coach Kellogg than there was in the entire year last year.
Right. No, I think he's got that it factor. He's obviously a great coach, but I think he just has that factor that people want to play for him. I think that's obvious. Of some of the players that came along with him. And they've made comments. Going with coach. So that speaks volumes. Yeah, I think obviously recruiting is huge in college sports now, and I feel like he's a good recruiter, and you can be a good recruiter, but if you're not a good coach, it may not
translate well.
Out. But I think we got both with Coach Kellogg.
Yeah. I mean, I got to bring up whoever produced that "Why Not" video. That was so good.
Why not?
That was so good. I almost took offense to that.
Yeah,
it's pretty special space.
We've been lucky enough to have a few interactions with Coach and actually got a chance to meet his wife and some of the sporting staff and assistant coaches the other night, and I mean it's obvious
they care. It's great. It's great.
It's great. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm always like I'm such a Homer fanboy. Try to be cool. Sorry, Coach. I'm a geek.
Well, you're not really an introvert, but you're also.
I'm not.
You're not 100% outgoing either.
No.
I'm kind of the opposite. Chad's he's always trying to pull the reins back on me.
Was it extroverted introvert? Is that what you would do?
Yeah, I'm an introverted extrovert.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff.
All right, wait. Did we pick the players of the game? We got JJ for the last game. We got Jordan Harrison for the. Who do we got for the first game?
We were sort of all over the place on it. Ryan's got it there.
Yeah. So anybody got a double in the first? We're awful. Sorry, we haven't been doing our research. We don't have stat people like Coach Kellogg.
So JJ's almost been kind of on top of the last three games. So I feel like
been insane.
So we kind of got to put an asterisk, and
you're killing me.
It gets a little complicated. So
boys, JJ, who got a second?
But again, with Jordan Harrison with the assists,
she's silently always the player of the game,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You got Kyle Watson. It's just
it's tough.
There's so many people supporting each other. It's hard.
I think what we need to do from now on. It's too tough to pick players of the game for each game. I think we need to have notable players during this episode period.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
maybe notable players that don't always get the attention that they deserve. Just like Kylie Blackson, last.
Balled it, man.
She had 16 points or something.
Is that a career high for her too? I believe, maybe or tied.
What did I see? I'm not sure if it's career high, but definitely close. I think.
All right. So, all right. Now let's recap. All right. We got our J's. We got all this going. I'm lost at this point. We need to write a list again. I'm sorry. I'm slacking this episode. Get off my back.
Okay.
It's a Monday, and not in the top 25. So I'm a little bit bitter. I didn't get enough pregame done. But I think by the time indicated to me by how much of this beer I've drinking, this is about the end of the episode.
Yeah, we've been trying to keep it under 30 minutes.
We're trying to do it. And this is about 23 minutes, I'm guessing. This is 23 minutes worth of
23
beer.
minutes, you said.
Yeah, that's been consumed.
Okay.
So I'm just going to wrap it up. Anything you guys, you want to throw out there before I wrap it up?
No, the only thing I want to say is, man, come to the games.
Get down there.
It's exciting, guys. It really is. It's a fun time.
Well, the next two games might be a little bit boring because they're going to step on their damn throat. And I'm all about stepping on their damn throat, but all right.
Yeah.
Winning by 50 is fun. I guess it's better than losing by 50. Look, I'm complaining we're winning by 50 and I'm complaining. Shut up, Chad.
I guess we got to do the social media thing, like, subscribe.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff,
click. I think I've been doing good too this episode. I'm interested to how much the no counter is because I've caught myself saying
I heard maybe once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to keep it down. Hopefully, no recovering alcoholics are trying to play this game. Well, hopefully they are, and I kept it down to a minimum. All right. Well, that's, like I said, pretty much going to wrap it up this episode. For Ryan and Shane, I'm Chad. Until next time, we'll see you at the Coliseum.